Hey everyone, welcome. I hope you're doing very fabulous. So today, I got to get back into it. The brand new Natasha Denona Bloom Palette. I have already done a first impression unboxing, swatches. I did 2 different eye looks, and I did a full review on this palette already. I will link that video below if you haven't seen it already. But this palette is a little deceptive, you guys. There is more depth and more beauty to this palette in person than anything you're gonna see online. Swatches, eye looks does not do this palette justice. So I gotta get back into it. I'm gonna do 2 different eye looks, but before I get right into everything, my name is Carrie. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, and if you like my content, please give this video a thumbs up. It'll really help out my channel a lot. I appreciate it very, very much. And for my current subscribers, you guys are the best. I have the most wonderful, I have the best subscribers. So thank you guys so, so much. All right, so the face is already prepped. The face is prepped. And I'm gonna try to go through this pretty quickly. I wanna try to do something a little different than I did in my first 2 videos, or in my first video with the 2 eye looks that I did. But I'm gonna go into this shade right here called Bark. It is pretty dark. So let's see. Let's see what that can do. I'm going to take a Rephr 15. I'm going to start that in my crease. Oh no. Oh gosh, you guys. Okay, I cleaned my brushes right before I started filming, but it's a quick dry. But I think it was still a little damp. Oh no. Okay, so let me see if I can just blend that out with a clean Rephr. All right, so that Bark color. Oh, that is dark. All right, let's see if we can. Oh gosh, it's patchy. You guys, that's not the makeup. That was my fault. This brush was still a little damp. Oh man. All right, that's okay. This brush is dry, so I'm gonna pick up some more Bark on it, and I'm gonna fill in that patchiness. And don't worry, we're gonna put so much razzle dazzle. It's gonna cover up any kind of patchiness or unevenness on any of these matte shades. All right, so let's see if we can take Bark up. Let's see. Yeah, that was my fault, you guys. But you know what? We're going with it because like I said, and like I say in a lot of my videos, sometimes you don't have time to start over. You have to deal with what has happened, what has transpired. You got to try to make it work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, to cover that up, let's just go in right now with the glitter glue. Let's go in with NYX glitter primer. It's a glitter glue. I'm just going to take it on my finger. I'm going to put it all over the eyelid, in my crease, in the inner corner. We're taking it up in my transition. Why not? Let's put a little bit right there. Let's put a little bit right there. Sorry, you guys, if you hear pounding, I have the people next door are redoing their fence or getting some work done. So I'm hearing like boom, boom, boom. So hopefully I can edit that out, but just a disclaimer. All right, I'm gonna go into this shade right here called Equinox. This is the most weird shade in this particular palette, really pressed in there, but it's got like a turquoise shift to it. So I'm going to just slap that all over the eye. I feel like this shade Equinox is bizarre to have in a peach, terracotta, orangey kind of palette, which this palette definitely leans into that color scheme. To have something that has a blue, see, we're just covering up all that patchiness. We're covering it all. It's all right. You put the razzle dazzle on top of that matte look and you've saved your whole look. No one can know. Nobody knows that it was patchy underneath there. Can't see it no more. It's all covered up. Anyways, what was I talking about before, you guys? It's here and then it's gone. It's here, it's gone. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, I was talking about this Equinox color. What a weird shade to be in this palette. But it works. It works. And that particular shade can completely transform any of these like shades that you have in here that lean real. I'm going to take that Bark color. I'm taking it underneath the lower lash line. Any shade that like leans real orange or terracotta, you put that Equinox on top of it or near it, man, it's really going to transform that whole look. It's a very interesting shade. Let's put some of that Bark out here. Ooh, gosh, that's so pretty. That's pretty already. All right, next I'm going to take this shade right here. That one is called Crisp, and I'm going to put that on my brow bone since I did put a little bit of glitter glue there. It's pretty. It's pretty. Tap off. Oh, that's really nice. Okay. Looking good, looking good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this petal color. It doesn't really show up that much on my eyes, but I just kind of want to clean things up in between, like right here and right above my transition, almost to my brow bone, but not quite. Did all that make sense? Like right here and here. Oof. That shade's a real light pink. Man, that's beautiful. I think I'm going to take this Clover shade and I'm going to take that just right above the upper lash line, just a little bit, just to add a little bit of depth to the eye. And I'm also going to take that Clover color underneath the lower lash line right at the base here. Now that shade, Clover, look at that. Look at how intense. That is some intensity there, and it can get built up. It's intense. This isn't just a, you know, fairy-like little peachy, you know, out in unicorn land palette. This is, it's got some depth to it. I know it's a little deceptive because I feel like the swatches really didn't do it justice until I'm drawn to a color story like this. So of course I knew right away that I was going to buy this palette. But when I got it in person and actually looked at it and played with it, I was just, you guys, I was in love instantly. So I know that some people are poo-pooing this palette. Let's go in with some mascara because they feel like it's too neutral or it's too light or it's too pink or it's got too many peaches or it's too orange or whatever. But I think that when you have it in your hand, it's and on the eyes, it's a little bit different. All right, I'm going to go in with the Stila mascara. This is their Stila Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. Okay, guys, that eye is done. It looks beautiful. If I were to have this eye look walking around, nobody would probably even guess that it would have been the Bloom palette, this peachy terracotta, you know, very warm palette. But I'm telling you, that Equinox color, man, it can just transform the eye look. So, all right, what can we do? Do I want to try to do this eye pink? You know, there is not much pink, to be honest, in this palette. There's maybe this one and maybe this one. This one I feel like does not count because it doesn't even hardly show up on my eyes. It looks just like my you know, lid color. But I'm gonna go into this brick color. It's called Brick. The one that I was in before was Bark, so hopefully I didn't call this one that I put on that eye Brick because I say things wrong all the time. I get things mixed up all the time. So I'm taking a clean Refer 16. I'm gonna put Brick in my crease and I'm gonna work it up and try to blend it upwards. Yeah, I definitely can see the terracotta-ness. I didn't know the terracotta-ness is definitely showing through. Is that even a word, you guys? Yes, blending beautifully, diffusing upwards beautifully. Ooh, that's so pretty. All right, let's get some more tap off because it is You guys, that it's intense. It's got some depth, which is what I'm building up here in my crease. Definitely has depth and can be built up. But gosh, that's so pretty. That's really, really pretty. Okay, what razzle dazzles are we going to put in there? All right, for the sake of caution, we're going to go in again with the NYX glitter glue. I'm going to put it all over the eyelid. I'm going to take a flat brush. It's a Refer 21. I'm going to go into this shade right here. I think it's called Fluorescence. Yeah, Fluorescence. And I'm going to put that all over my lid. I'm just going to stamp it and then see. Oh, gorgeous. So pretty. Let's just keep stamping. Yeah, the glitter glue is helping it to be a little bit more vibrant. Ooh, I hear my son. He's getting into the snacks. Every time if he's home, and I'm filming, usually I try to do it when he's in, school or whatever. I'm going to take that, brick color. I'm not adding any more, but I'm just going to kind of stamp out right here. But anytime he's home and I'm filming, he always takes it upon himself to just go get snacks. It could be 8 o'clock in the morning and he's like, I'm gonna eat chips for breakfast. I'm like, dude, you can't eat chips for breakfast. Like, no snacks. But today I didn't tell him that. So he's probably like, plus it's the afternoon. He's already eaten breakfast, some eggs. So you got some protein in you. But I hear him rustling with the packages. Okay, a little bit more of that brick. Brick, man, you are very terracotta. I think this brush is a little bit too wide for my outer V. I'm trying to clean this up over here, but oh well. No one's got to be perfect at makeup. You don't have to be perfect in order for it to look nice. Everybody's looking at a whole picture of you. They don't care one little spot is messed up. No one's going to notice it. They don't. The everyday people walking around, they don't notice nothing. Once your whole look is done, they're looking at a whole picture of you. You notice because you did it. All right, so now, what do I want to do with that lower lash line? How about we intense it up with the Ember? Yep, that's called Ember. Let's get another flat brush here. I'm gonna take a Refer 02 Mini. I'm gonna go into Ember. It definitely looks like a metallic. I'm going to take that underneath the lower lash line. I'm not going to glitter glue, wet it or anything. I'm just going to gently, hopefully no chunks fall out on my face here. Okay. Good. It's staying in place pretty good. Nice. Okay. Now I am going to blend that out underneath here. Try to get this area cleaned up. And why not? Why don't we take this one again right here, Petal, I believe it was called. Yeah, Petal. Let's just do the brow bone. Kind of clean some stuff up here. Okay, that's looking very beautiful. I could leave it just like that, but I'm not going to. I have to add some more razzle dazzle. All right, so now let's go in with, how about Lush? Let's go in with Lush, and I'm going to take it on my finger. Wow, look at that. Beautiful, huh? Let's see if I don't need any more glitter glue. Let's see if I can stamp it in the middle of the eye and see if that helps. Yeah, it's giving some brightness. If I were to add glitter glue, it would be more vibrant, but that's all right. I don't need to. Man, that's really pretty. Man, all of these shades are complementing each other very, very well. I'm going to take a small Refer 13 Mini. I'm going back into Lush. I'm going to put it in my inner corner. Hopefully that works and it doesn't have too much of a base color because I can't remember from my first impression video if it does or not. Let's Let's bring it up and over. You know what this palette reminds me of? It reminds me of just lounging on vacation, poolside. You're just laying out in the sun. You know, you might look cute because maybe you're not going in the pool. You're just laying out to look nice and get some rays from the sun. You put a couple little beads, little, you know, nothing too overdone. You know what I mean? But you're just cute enough in case you're a single person and you're trying to attract. You know what I mean? Does everybody know what I mean? I'm happily married, so I don't know anything about that, but not anymore anyways. But this just reminds me of just, I'm relaxing by the pool, I'm on vacation, but you still want to look nice. You still want to look pretty. You still want to look done up. Now, I do feel that this eye is very orange. It is very terracotta. Is it gorgeous? Does it look good on my skin tone? Yes, but I do feel that I do want to darken it just a little bit. I want to add a little bit more dimension to it. And so I'm going to go into Floss. I think that's how you say it. It's F-L-O-S, not F-L-O-S-S. Okay, so anyways, I've got a Refer 14 and I'm just going to do a little bit right there. Just a little. Darkening right there. Okay, excellent. I'm going to take, I don't know, I just pulled a brush and I think I had that petal color on there, so it's not going to alter my look. That's beautiful. Stunning. All right, so now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to tightline. I'm going to use my ColourPop in Sunnyvale. It's their cream gel liners. Fantastic. It's some of the best eyeliners I've ever used. Okay, guys, the eye is done. I went ahead and did the same mascara, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some gloss on. I'm going to use the NYX Butter Gloss, and this one's in, hold on, let me see here. Oh, Bit Oh Honey. Look at that. It's going to be, ooh. Okay, that's going to be perfect. Let's put that on and then I'll spray the face and then I can show you guys the final look. Ooh, nice. Okay, guys, those lips are done. Let's spray the face. I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay De-Slick All-Nighter. Mine's just a travel size. That's why it's small. They were buy one, get one free at Ulta, so I picked up a bunch of them. Okay, guys, that setting spray is dry. It is time for me to show you the final look. Okay, guys, these eye looks are complete. That is another round of the new Natasha Denona Bloom eyeshadow palette. You guys, let me give you some quick thoughts in case you did not watch my first impression video, but I honestly think that this palette, way better in person than it is online. You cannot see the beauty and what this palette has to offer online. I'm sorry, that's how I feel about this particular palette specifically. There is a lot of depth in this palette that just cannot be seen online. I think that there is a lot more color to this palette than most people can see just with the naked eye looking at it online. Even with me showing it to you right now, you know, I know a lot of people are like, another neutral, blah, blah, you know, but don't poo-poo it. This is a great palette. It is stunning. Does it lean orange, terracotta, peach? Yes. Yes, it does. Let's be honest. So if you don't like a color story like this, then you're just not you know, don't bother, don't waste your time. But if you are on the fence about this palette, because like, oh, I have so much of that in my, you know, inventory already, and I've already got so many of this and so many neutrals, and you know, it looks like I would encourage you to like go to Sephora, swatch it on your skin, and see a huge difference than what, you know, the online is offering. But if you're on the fence and you love the color story, you guys, green light. It's awesome. The palette's awesome, okay? That's all I have. It's awesome. It's an awesome palette. I am so glad that I have peach, oranges, terracottas with Natasha Denona quality. So that's my 2 cents. You guys comment below. Tell me what you think. What are your opinions? Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.